Baba Vanga warned us. 10 shocking predictions for 2025 revealed. Hello and welcome back to The Journey of Wisdom. Baba Vanga, the mysterious blind seer from Bulgaria, remains a powerful symbol of ancient prophecy in our modern world. Her predictions, once dismissed as legend, have echoed through time, from the fall of the Twin Towers to natural disasters and political turmoil that reshaped nations. Now, as we step into 2025, a year filled with uncertainty, rapid change, and global tension, her warnings are resurfacing. Could this be the moment she foresaw? A turning point when the unseen begins to shape our reality. In today's video, we'll uncover 10 of Baba Vanga's most shocking predictions for 2025 and reflect on what they might mean for us not just as individuals, but as a world searching for meaning, stability, and truth. Number 1. A mysterious tsunami in Asia. Baba Vanga, the mystic whose visions have intrigued the world for decades, is said to have foreseen a powerful tsunami striking Asia in 2025, an event shrouded in mystery because, unlike typical natural disasters, this one doesn't arise from the usual culprits like earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. Her predictions have stirred global interest before, particularly when she was believed to have forewarned the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, which devastated coastal communities and claimed over 200,000 lives. Now, as we stand on the brink of 2025, this new warning feels like a haunting echo from the past, reminding us not just of nature's fury, but of our own growing vulnerabilities. Scientists and environmental experts have long warned that rising sea levels, driven by accelerating climate change, are quietly turning once-safe coastlines into high-risk zones. Warmer oceans don't just mean stronger storms, they also mean the balance of nature is shifting in ways we don't fully understand yet. In this light, Baba Vanga's prophecy may not be a fantastical claim, but a poetic reflection of very real dangers we continue to overlook. People living in low-lying areas, especially across Asia's vast coastlines from the Bay of Bengal to the South China Sea, are facing increasing threats, not just from the elements, but from the consequences of inaction. Whether or not one believes in prophecies, this should be a moment of awakening. Now more than ever, communities need to strengthen disaster preparedness, invest in early warning systems, and support sustainable environmental practices. For those of us far from these coastlines, the lesson is just as urgent. We are all connected in this fragile ecosystem. What happens in one part of the world can ripple across the planet, economically, emotionally, and environmentally. Baba Vanga's words, when viewed through this lens, are not just predictions, they are reminders. Reminders that in an age of rising uncertainty, we must not wait for disaster to unite us in compassion, preparedness, and responsibility. Let us not brush off ancient warnings as distant folklore, but consider how they echo today's scientific truths, urging us to pay attention before nature speaks louder than we can handle. Number 2. Severe natural disasters. You've probably heard the warning that in 2025 we might see many serious natural disasters, and it's hard to ignore how that resonates with what's already happened this year. In early January, you likely saw reports of massive forest fires sweeping through Los Angeles, where tens of thousands of hectares were scorched, hundreds of thousands of people had to evacuate, and losses soared into the tens of billions of dollars. If that caught your attention, ask yourself, have we truly gotten better at preventing or responding to disasters, or are we simply being tested? Then in May, South Korea's Gangwon province issued a state of emergency as a major wildfire forced entire communities to flee. Shortly after that, Myanmar suffered a devastating earthquake in late May that leveled towns, killed thousands, and crushed critical infrastructure. It's easy to shrug this off as coincidence, But consider this. What if Baba Vanga's foresight about floods, forest fires, and especially major earthquakes is not just sensationalism, but something we need to listen to? Are you prepared for the possibility that such events, these powerful reminders of how fragile life can be, could affect you, your neighbors, or even your own home? When you think about it, floods are no longer faraway stories. Rising sea levels, melting glaciers, and extreme weather patterns are flooding communities from South Asia to North America. Forests, vital to filtering our air and storing carbon, are burning more intensely, costing us more than money. They cost us health, balance, and security. And earthquakes, those sudden shocks from deep within the earth, remind us that no structural achievement is permanent if we don't build wisely. So why does this matter to you? Because when disaster strikes anywhere, the ripple effects spread everywhere, economically, emotionally, and even spiritually. Think about your preparedness plan. Do you have emergency supplies, a communication route with loved ones, and a mindset ready to respond? What can you do today to help your community stay resilient in the face of uncertainty? You might not be able to stop an earthquake or a wildfire, but you can contribute by advocating for sustainable land management, supporting better disaster-proof building codes, and joining local volunteer or early warning initiatives. And on a personal level, developing mental resilience and community-mindedness can transform fear into action. So at the end of the day, what are the lessons here? First, natural disasters are no longer occasional tragedies. They're becoming part of a pattern, possibly confirming what Baba Vanga warned. Second, preparation is not just practical, it's compassionate, showing that we care for ourselves and others. Third, these events call us to rethink how we live with nature, whether in building stronger homes, preserving forests, or rallying around those affected. In this way, Baba Vanga's words aren't mere prophecies of doom, they're a wake-up call, urging us to live wisely, act kindly, and build both personal and collective resilience. Now, the question I leave with you is, what will you do in 2025 to answer that call? Number 3. Political turmoil and instability in Europe. I want you to imagine that you're sitting with me now, and I'm about to share something that feels both urgent and unsettling. Baba Vanga, the renowned mystic, delivered a chilling warning about 2025 that we can't ignore. She foresaw a major war erupting in Europe, a crisis so profound that the population across the continent would begin to noticeably decline. Now, I'm speaking directly to you. Does that sound surprising? Because it surprised me too. And I want to help you understand why this prophecy might matter more than ever. Let's dive into what's happening right now. You've likely seen headlines about the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, and if you're paying attention, you realize it's no short-term crisis. This conflict has been simmering for years, and while it might feel geographically distant, its ripple effects are sweeping across borders, from rising energy costs to food shortages to shifts in global alliances. Do you feel that ripple in your own community? But it doesn't stop there. Tensions are escalating around NATO's eastern borders, where neighboring countries are nervously watching troop movements and military drills, wondering what comes next. Eastern European nations, many still rebuilding from past conflicts, are now whispering about security threats that don't simply walk across lines on a map. These threats travel in conversations, in diplomatic cables, and even in cyber attacks targeting infrastructure you and I rely on every day. It's as if the entire region is holding its breath, waiting for the next spark. And here's where Baba Vanga's prediction adds weight. She didn't name leaders or armies, but she spoke of a vast upheaval that could redefine Europe's landscape, and quite possibly its population as we know it. This isn't just geopolitical jargon. It's about homes lost to conflict, families displaced, and the emotional toll on communities forced to rebuild from ashes. Have you ever asked yourself what could cause such dramatic outcomes? Could it be the breakdown of diplomatic dialogue, or maybe the sudden involvement of powers beyond the region, each with their own agendas, each ready to stake a claim in the unfolding drama? Or perhaps emerging threats like cyber warfare and disinformation campaigns quietly making their way into everyday life, weakening trust in institutions and fueling fear across borders. So what should you and I do with this prophecy? First, listen. Pay attention to rising tensions, not just in headlines, but also in the experiences of people living near border towns, or in the online conversations of experts warning about supply chain disruptions, defense escalations, or humanitarian crises. Ask yourself, what kind of world will my children grow up in if these tensions boil over? And at the same time, ask what we, not as distant followers of global events, but as people living in one world, can do to support peace, to foster understanding, to encourage leaders to talk rather than fight. While Baba Vanga's words may seem like a faraway warning about an abstract war in Europe, what she really asked us to do is open our eyes to how interconnected our safety truly is. When borders tremble, when alliances shift, and when security feels fragile, it's not just over there anymore. It can be right here, touching all of our lives. And so, I want you to consider, in the midst of that unsettling prophecy, what small action can you take today to be a channel of calm, to be a listener in conversations about security, to share credible information, and, most profoundly, to spread hope in the face of fear? Because perhaps that is the hidden message behind the warning that it isn't all doom, but a call to be more alert, more compassionate, and more active in the peace we all cherish. If you've watched up to this point, you're already one step closer to unlocking the mysteries of what's to come in 2025. Comment below with "Future Ready" to show you're prepared to face these revelations head-on. Don't go anywhere, there are still more eye-opening predictions ahead that could change how you see the future. Stay until the end to uncover them all. Number 4. Humanity may make contact with extraterrestrials. Among Baba Vanga's most mysterious and captivating predictions is the idea that in 2025, humanity might finally make contact with beings from beyond our world. While this may sound like the stuff of science fiction, recent years have seen an increasing number of discoveries and unusual signals coming from the far reaches of space. Agencies like NASA, along with global astronomical observatories, have detected strange, unexplained transmission signals that suggest the presence of life, or at least biological activity, on planets light years away from our solar system. These signals, often dismissed or downplayed, are now drawing serious attention from scientists, pushing the boundaries of what we consider possible. In a world already spinning fast with technological advancement, the idea of connecting with extraterrestrial beings doesn't feel as far-fetched as it once did. Such a revelation could alter not only our understanding of the universe, but also of ourselves. We see life, purpose, and connection. It brings to mind the Buddha's teaching: just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life. If contact with another intelligent species becomes reality, it may deeply shake or awaken our spiritual understanding, challenging our sense of ego, of superiority, and our place in the vast cosmos. In modern life, many of us already struggle to connect with each other despite being hyper-connected through technology. We scroll endlessly, we message often, yet feel more isolated than ever. The thought of making contact with intelligent life forms from beyond the stars forces us to look inward and ask if we can't even live in harmony with our fellow humans. Are we truly ready to engage with beings from other worlds? The potential contact may not be frightening, but rather humbling, a reminder of how small we are and how much we still have to learn. It invites us to reflect on compassion, coexistence, and the meaning of intelligence. If such a meeting were to happen, how would we present ourselves? With fear or with curiosity and goodwill? Would we approach it with arrogance or with humility? Now more than ever, in a time where misinformation spreads easily and fear often overshadows wonder, we must cultivate a mindset rooted in wisdom and openness. The essence of Buddhist thought teaches that everything is interconnected, and if we carry this understanding forward, then the possibility of extraterrestrial life becomes not something to fear, but something to embrace as part of the greater web of existence. Rather than worrying about the unknown, let this prediction remind us to focus on the known to treat each other with kindness, to seek truth, and to walk gently on this earth, knowing that we are not the center of the universe, but part of its infinite dance. Number 5. A cure for cancer. Baba Vanga, a name that continues to stir curiosity and wonder, left behind many predictions, some cryptic, some astonishingly clear. One that truly stands out, especially for those touched by the pain of terminal illness, is her vision for the year 2025. She foresaw a breakthrough in medicine so powerful that it could transform how we understand and treat some of the deadliest diseases of our time. Have you or someone you love ever faced the fear that comes with hearing the word cancer? If so, you'll understand the weight behind her prediction that scientists will finally discover new, more effective ways to treat this relentless illness. She didn't stop there. Alzheimer's disease, another devastating condition that robs people of their memories and identities, was also part of her vision for hope. Baba Vanga believed that advances in quantum computing technology that processes information at unimaginable speed and complexity would play a crucial role in unlocking these medical miracles. This isn't science fiction, it's a reflection of the direction modern medicine is already moving toward. Imagine quantum computers analyzing vast amounts of genetic data in seconds, personalizing treatments, and predicting how a disease will evolve before it even has a chance to take hold. She saw 2025 not as just another year, but as a turning point in the battle between life and death. Now, think about what that means for us, right now. We're living in a time when the idea of curing cancer doesn't feel like a fantasy anymore, it feels like a possibility within reach. But why would a spiritual figure like Baba Vanga focus so much on science and healing? Perhaps the deeper message is about balance between faith and knowledge, between the seen and unseen. Her vision reminds us that true wisdom embraces all forms of understanding, whether it comes through ancient insight or modern innovation. Can we learn to look at science not as something separate from the spiritual, but as another path toward relieving suffering and promoting life? And as we await these medical breakthroughs, what can we do to contribute to healing of ourselves, of our communities, and of those still waiting for answers? Baba Vanga's prediction serves not just as a forecast of future events, but as a call to remain hopeful and engaged. It encourages us to support scientific progress, but also to cherish each moment of health we have now. Let this story remind you that every step forward in medicine is more than just a discovery. It's a chance to ease pain, to extend life, and to offer families a future that once seemed impossible. In the spirit of do good, avoid harm, we are reminded to care for our bodies, to seek knowledge, and to support those working to heal the world. What will you do today to nurture hope in your own life and in the lives of others? Because hope, when shared, becomes healing. Number 6. Global economic crisis. They say history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes, and Baba Vanga, the mysterious Bulgarian mystic, left behind a warning that resonates more than ever as we step into 2025. One of her most striking prophecies was about a massive global economic crisis that would shake the foundations of our world, affecting nations, communities, and individuals alike. While she didn't point to a single cause, the signs surrounding us are hard to ignore. Experts today are sounding similar alarms, pointing to a storm of challenges building across the globe: inflation that refuses to settle, political tensions between powerful nations, energy resources that grow scarcer and more expensive, and climate change disasters that are disrupting industries and lives. These aren't just headlines, they're real experiences for millions of people. Have you felt it too? Maybe in the rising cost of groceries, the uncertainty of your job, or the way your savings no longer stretch as far as they once did. As we look around, it's not just one country or one group feeling the strain. This is a crisis that transcends borders. From wealthy nations with ballooning public debt to developing regions battling inflation and poverty, no one is truly immune. Stock markets fluctuate wildly, housing prices soar in one place while collapsing in another, and the financial future many hoped for now feels unstable. More and more people are having to choose between needs rather than wants, and even the middle class is feeling the pressure like never before. In the words of the Buddha, all conditioned things are impermanent. The global economy, as complex and mighty as it may seem, is still subject to change, decay, and rebirth. But here's a question worth asking yourself. How do we respond, not just as individuals, but as a global community, when the ground beneath our financial feet starts to crack? This is not merely a time for fear, but for reflection. Buddhist philosophy teaches us that suffering arises from attachment, especially our attachment to material wealth and stability. It doesn't mean money isn't important, it is, especially when it affects our survival, but it reminds us that peace comes not from external security, but from inner balance. If the world is indeed heading toward economic hardship, perhaps the deeper lesson isn't just about preparation, but about transformation. Are we ready to shift from a mindset of endless consumption to one of mindful living? Let's not forget, times of crisis have also sparked some of humanity's greatest moments of compassion and innovation. Think of neighbors helping neighbors during economic downturns, communities coming together to support local businesses, and families finding joy in simplicity. Maybe this prediction from Baba Vanga isn't just a warning, but an invitation, a call to examine what truly matters. Can we use this time not just to worry, but to reconnect with our values, to practice generosity, and to build resilience not just in our wallets, but in our hearts? So as we explore these predictions, let's stay grounded. Let's remember that even if the road ahead is uncertain, our response to it, guided by wisdom, compassion, and awareness, can shape a future more meaningful than the one we might fear. As Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "When we walk like we are rushing, we print anxiety and sorrow on the earth. We have to walk in a way that we only print peace and serenity on the earth." What kind of footprints will we leave behind in these uncertain times? You're already on the path of awakening to Baba Vanga's incredible visions. If you believe knowledge can prepare us for tomorrow, drop a truth seeker in the comments. Keep watching. What you're about to hear might just shift your entire perspective on the year ahead. Number 7. The ability to read minds. One of the most fascinating and futuristic predictions Baba Vanga made for the year 2025 is the development of telepathic communication, the ability for humans to exchange thoughts directly without the need for spoken words or physical gestures. While at first this may sound like something taken straight from the pages of a science fiction novel, what's remarkable is how close we're beginning to come to making this a reality. With major strides in neuroscience and technology, especially breakthroughs like Elon Musk's Neuralink brain chip, we are witnessing the early steps toward a future where our minds might connect in ways once thought impossible. Neuralink has already shown that it's possible for humans to control computers using only their thoughts, by interpreting brainwaves and turning them into actions. This development not only hints at new possibilities for those with physical limitations, but it also opens a window into a world where thoughts could be shared directly between people, transforming how we understand connection, communication, and even privacy. As these scientific developments grow, we are faced with new questions about the nature of human interaction. If thoughts could be transmitted between minds, what would become of our personal space, our right to mental privacy, or even the subtleties of emotional nuance that we now express through tone, body language, and silence? It reminds us that technology, while powerful, must always be guided by ethics and compassion. As amazing as it is to dream about instantly sharing ideas with loved ones or understanding another person's feelings with absolute clarity, such powers also require great responsibility. In our daily lives today, even without advanced technology, many of us already struggle with being misunderstood or feeling disconnected. So perhaps the deeper lesson in this prophecy is not just about technological leaps, but about the timeless human longing to truly understand and be understood. Rather than waiting for machines to make us more connected, we can start by being more present with those around us, by listening fully, speaking honestly, and caring deeply. This prediction also encourages us to look inward and ask, how well do we truly know our own thoughts? In a world where our innermost ideas could one day be visible to others, perhaps now is the time to cultivate clarity, mindfulness, and emotional intelligence. The more we understand ourselves, the more peaceful and meaningful our connections with others can become, with or without the aid of futuristic tools. Baba Vanga's vision, then, isn't just a warning or a wild claim about technology. It's a mirror reflecting both the promise and the perils of our path forward. As we inch closer to a world where even thoughts may be shared like text messages, let us not forget the importance of inner harmony, respect for others' boundaries, and the quiet wisdom of choosing our thoughts with care. Number 8. The rise of artificial intelligence, AI. The rise of artificial intelligence, AI, a prophecy that Baba Vanga reportedly foresaw long before most of us could even imagine what AI would look like in our lives. She believed that artificial intelligence would shape the very structure of human society, and today we're beginning to see exactly how that's unfolding. Look around. AI is no longer a concept from science fiction. It's a real, growing force that's impacting almost every aspect of our daily routines. Whether it's virtual assistants guiding your schedule, self-driving cars navigating busy streets, or complex algorithms helping doctors diagnose diseases more accurately than ever before, AI is steadily becoming a part of how we live, learn, heal, and even entertain ourselves. Have you noticed how much of your daily life already involves some form of AI? From customized news feeds to voice commands that play your favorite music, we're deeply intertwined with this invisible technology. But while this technological wave offers incredible opportunities, it also comes with challenges we can't ignore. As machines become more intelligent and capable, they begin to take over tasks that once needed a human touch. This leads many to ask, what happens to the workers whose jobs are now automated? Is it progress, or are we sacrificing human livelihood for efficiency? This is the heart of a growing concern around job security, economic inequality, and even the potential loss of human connection in a world run by algorithms. And then there's the matter of privacy. How much of your data is being collected, stored, and possibly used without your full awareness? With AI comes a need for strong ethics and clear boundaries, yet we're still figuring out what those should look like. These aren't just technical questions, they are deeply human ones. Still, this moment in history gives us a powerful opportunity. Rather than resisting change, we can ask ourselves, how can we guide the rise of AI in ways that are compassionate, inclusive, and wise? Can we design technologies that serve humanity rather than replace it? Can we use AI to spread education, enhance healthcare, and deepen our understanding of the world, while still protecting our human values? These are not easy questions, but they are essential if we want to ensure that progress doesn't come at the cost of our well-being. Baba Vanga's prediction wasn't just about technology, it was a nudge to prepare ourselves for the moral and emotional challenges that come with it. So what can we take away from this? First, that awareness is power. Stay informed about how AI is affecting your life. Second, that adaptability is key. Learning new skills and staying curious can help you thrive in a changing world. And finally, remember that true progress doesn't just mean smarter machines, it means wiser people. If we meet the rise of AI with wisdom, heart, and responsibility, it could become one of the greatest tools for good the world has ever seen. Let us not fear the future, but shape it with care, clarity, and compassion. Number 9. The return of an ancient epidemic. Let's talk about something that might give you chills: Baba Vanga's chilling warning about the return of an ancient epidemic. Now, I know it sounds like something out of a dark chapter in a history book, but let's unpack this in a way that really makes you think. Baba Vanga, the mystic many believe could see far into the future, once warned of a terrifying illness making a comeback, something from our distant past, something that once swept through towns and cities, leaving fear in every household. She didn't give it a name, but the description was enough to spark discussions and theories around the world. Could it be the plague, which wiped out millions in the Middle Ages? Or maybe smallpox, a deadly disease once thought eradicated, but still feared for its potential return? Some even point to modern-day threats like drug-resistant tuberculosis, a strain so stubborn that even our strongest antibiotics struggle to stop it. Here's where it gets even more serious. Some sources believe this mysterious disease could resurface in Europe in 2025. Now, you might wonder, with all our medical advancements, how could something like that possibly happen? That's a powerful question. The truth is, the world today is more connected than ever. A single flight can carry a virus across continents in just hours. And while we've come a long way with vaccines and treatments, there are still gaps, especially when new mutations emerge or when diseases adapt in ways we weren't prepared for. Have you ever thought about how fragile our health systems really are when facing something unknown, or even something ancient but reborn in a new form? Baba Vanga's prediction isn't just a warning, it's an invitation to reflect. What lessons have we learned from past pandemics like COVID-19? Did we come out of it wiser, or have we returned to our old habits? When she spoke of a disease from the past, she may have meant more than just a biological threat. Maybe she was pointing to our forgetfulness, our tendency to repeat mistakes when fear fades and comfort returns. So let me ask you, are we ready to face the unexpected, or are we quietly assuming the worst is behind us? This isn't about spreading fear, it's about staying awake. It's about understanding that even ancient illnesses can find new ways to challenge us if we're not vigilant. Maybe the real question isn't which disease it will be, but how we will respond. Will we unite, support one another, and use wisdom to guide our actions? Or will we fall into panic, division, and blame? These are the kinds of questions Baba Vanga's message stirs in us, not to scare, but to prepare. And now, I turn to you. What do you think we need to do, as individuals and as a society, to stay ready? Have we learned enough from history, or is there still more we need to see, to feel, to truly understand the weight of her warning? Number 10. The time when humanity moves closer to immortality. Baba Vanga, the mysterious mystic of the Balkans, foretold a future where humanity would inch ever closer to the dream of immortality, and she pointed specifically to the year 2025 as a turning point. According to her vision, It would be during this time that scientists would begin to unveil the ancient mystery of eternal life by discovering how to grow human tissues in laboratories. As extraordinary as that sounds, this prediction doesn't exist in isolation. It echoes with remarkable synchronicity in our real-world scientific advancements today. We are living in an era where breakthroughs in regenerative medicine, stem cell therapy, and genetic engineering are reshaping our understanding of aging and human health. Projects that once seemed like science fiction, such as lab-grown organs and DNA modification, are becoming everyday headlines. At the heart of these efforts are powerful figures like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, whose investments in life extension technologies through ventures like Neuralink and Altos Labs suggest that the chase for longevity isn't just about curiosity, it's about belief in possibility. And yet, as we inch toward this dream, we must ask ourselves, what does immortality truly mean? Is it just about a longer life or a more meaningful one? In Buddhism, there is a saying, "Better than 100 years lived in ignorance, without contemplation, is one single day lived wisely and mindfully." This reminds us that the length of life means little if it is not filled with awareness, compassion, and purpose. As we stand on the cusp of this new era, it becomes more important than ever to balance our pursuit of scientific wonder with a return to spiritual wisdom. While the body may be extended by machines and molecules, the heart still seeks peace, and the mind, understanding. In our modern world filled with the pressure to stay young and the fear of aging, this prophecy invites us to reflect deeply on the quality of our lives, not just the quantity. It's easy to be fascinated by the promise of living longer, but we must also consider how we are living now. Are we spending time with our loved ones? Are we growing in patience, kindness, and understanding? As we race toward this possibility of extended life, it may help to remember that true longevity isn't measured in years, but in the love we give and the wisdom we share. The teachings of the Buddha also offer timeless insight here. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. This suggests that even as science pushes boundaries, the foundation of a good life remains simple and profound. Perhaps Baba Vanga's vision wasn't just about biological immortality, but about inspiring us to ask deeper questions about how we live, love, and leave behind a legacy. In a world striving to outpace death, let us also strive to live in such a way that every day carries the weight of meaning and joy. Let this prophecy be not only a marvel of what is to come, but a gentle call to slow down, appreciate our breath, cherish our bodies, and honor each passing moment with mindfulness and grace. As we reflect on Baba Vanga's predictions for 2025, it's clear that whether we see them as prophecy or poetic metaphor, they all carry the same message. Be present, be prepared, and above all, be compassionate. In a world full of uncertainty, the true power lies not in fearing the future, but in shaping it with wisdom, kindness, and awareness. If this video gave you something to think about, helped you see the world a little differently, or simply sparked your curiosity, please give it a like, share it with others, and don't forget to subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos, as we continue exploring timeless teachings and truths that help us walk through life with more peace and purpose. Thank you for watching, and remember, wisdom begins with a single step. Let's take it together.